Hey everybody, I'm Philip, and I think we should talk about NXT Takeover 30. All right, so let's talk about this show. Came to us from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, as every show has for a long time due to the pandemic. Full disclosure, I have not watched WWE programming in a while. Not the actual shows. I'll watch highlights on YouTube and stuff, but I have not watched the actual product in a long time. Pretty much the last pay-per-view I actually watched majority of was Mania, and it's just the lack of crowds is killing it for me, and I miss having I feed off the energy of a crowd, and not having one there just makes the shows dreadful, especially the main roster. When they do that piped in crowd noise, it just kills it. This show at least didn't have that. They had the people behind the plexiglass making noise, and it wasn't like the piped in noise, which I think sounds 1,000 times better. But yeah, let's talk about the show. I didn't watch the pre-show. I heard it was a pretty decent match, but I didn't watch it. The show started with Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher. Right off the bat, I feel bad for Finn Balor. He's just kind of floating in the ether at the moment, and clearly they were setting up between him and Walter, and I think from what I thought they were going to do, he was going to face Walter and then beat Walter for the NXT UK Championship, and then just be like the standard bearer, the placeholder over there, which I think would have been perfect for him. You know, give him that dominant, badass run that he should have had on the main roster. You know, he never got that for obvious reasons. But, then the pandemic hits, and it just completely just neutered anything they were going to do with him or that storyline. Overall, the match was fine. Nothing too terribly special. It really showed off what Thatcher can do. Finn made Thatcher look like $1 million, but it wasn't really anything like super awesome or anything like that. Finn won with a 1916, and so he got, they said it was his 12th takeover win. But I mean, for what else was on the show, I thought it was kind of unremarkable, but a very solid match nonetheless. Then we go to the North American Championship ladder match. We had Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, and yeah, I don't want to get into a rant about that. I don't. We're just going to leave that out of it for now. The match itself was match of the night. Easily for me was match of the night. It was such a well-booked ladder match. In the way that ladder matches have become so formulaic and big spot until you clear the ring, and then the last couple people, and then they knock them off the ladder and that person climbs and gets it. There were so many moments of that in this match alone. Like this match looked like it could have ended 4 or 5 different times, of each of the different people in the match looking like that they could have won. And like, I'm not gonna lie, every time Dream climbed the ladder, my heart started sinking, because he should not be winning anything, let alone being on TV right now, in my opinion. We're gonna talk about that right now. Some cool things that happened in the match, though. In the beginning, Bronson Reed was going to pull a ladder into the ring, and Dream was on the outside holding onto it. And Bronson Reed just yanks the ladder in with Dream attached to it and pulls them both in the ring. It looked awesome. Eventually, Candice LeRae came down, and she kept getting involved. There was a really cool, splash spot by Bronson Reed from the top of the ladder onto Johnny Gargano with Candice on his back. That looked awesome. Cameron Grimes took the nastiest bump of the night, second only to Dream, kinda. Gargano was going to do a sunset powerbomb onto the ladder, like from one ladder to the other, and then powerbomb him onto a ladder that was bridged. Usually you take the back bump onto the ladder to alleviate some of the pain. Grimes took it on his side and looked like I don't know if it was the shoulder or the back of his head, but it was like right here. Or no, it was on this side. Was it? Or was it on this side? Doesn't matter. It looked like it freaking hurt, and I gasped and covered my mouth. I was just like, oh my God, I hope he's okay. And I just gotta give a shout out to Grimes. The man is amazing in his role as the loudmouth. He's so good. So good. Yeah, there were some really, really awesome spots overall. Usually I say if you can watch one match from a show, watch this match. There's a couple matches from the show that you should check out. This one especially, though. It was match of the night, in my opinion. It stole the show, in my opinion, and it was way better than I thought. I didn't want to watch for obvious reasons, but I did, so I could talk about it, and I'm glad I did, because it ended up being so much better than I expected it to be, and it was easily the best match of the night. And that's also due in part to the winner, Damian Priest is our new North American champion, and this was a rare match where I was fine with anyone but one person winning. So yeah, anytime like, Bronson Reed would climb, or Cameron Grimes would climb, or Priest would climb, or Gargano would climb, I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, I can see a storyline with each one of these people, which I think why the mid-card in NXT now is looking pretty good. Yeah, the right guy won. Damian Priest did in fact win, and I think it was the right choice. And I've said this before in various discussions with people about it. I can't believe that Damian Priest is Punishment Martinez from Ring of Honor, who I loathed. I hated him with a passion. I thought he was untalented, couldn't work, the gimmick sucked. Still stand by that part. He's a freaking star in NXT, and he just, yeah, I'm glad he won. I clapped. And so, any of them other than Mr. Velveteen Dream would have been the right call, or a good call rather, and I'm glad he won. So congratulations to Damian Priest. Good choice. And yeah, I was very, very happy with that decision. Then we go to Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. I do not like Pat McAfee. I never have. I'm not into sports ball like that. I don't care that he was a punter. I don't care. But as a personality, as a commentator, panelist, he's just been annoying. He's just so annoying, which is kind of his thing. He just always comes off like a jock douche, and I think it's just kind of his shtick. And he plays it perfectly. He looks the part, he acts the part. Good on him. But let's get to the match. Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee was the sleeper hit of the show. I wasn't expecting much out of it because it's like a celebrity match versus a wrestler. So I wasn't expecting the greatest thing ever, but holy crap, this exceeded my expectations. I have to give Pat McAfee so much credit. He came in, he was playing the heel. Cole was playing the valiant face, like defending the brand. Pat McAfee not only showed up, he showed up to work. He put in the effort, and you could tell the dude was taking bumps. And I'm not just talking like soft flat back bumps. I'm talking like superplex from the top rope bump. Let's get to that. There was a spot where Cole was sitting on the top rope, and McAfee was up there with him, and Cole pushed him off. Pat McAfee does a moonsault off the top rope and lands on his feet, then runs back up, jumps to the top rope, then does a superplex back into the ring. Those bumps don't feel good, especially if you're not used to taking them all the time. And his fundamentals were good. Like, he wasn't crisp, he wasn't, a seasoned veteran, obviously, but for only this is like his second match in the ring ever, I think, in his total career. I mean, I think there's some potential there. He's got the heel thing down, did a good job at distracting the referee to do the low blow later in the match. As far as selling moves and stuff, also really good job. One nitpick though, Cole was hanging on the outside of the ring, like off the apron, his head was, and McAfee went to do his kick, his punt, and Cole moved, and then Pat McAfee kicked the ring steps on the outside. But it kind of like, Pat McAfee kicked the ring steps and then sold. Here's what I think was going on at that moment for Pat. I think he was so focused and locked in on that moment, on not only making it look real, but also not hurting himself, because you kick the steps wrong, you're going to hurt yourself. So I think he was so focused on doing the kick right that once he was like, okay, did it right, now time to sell. So I'll forgive him for that. It stuck out, but again, he's not a pro. He hasn't been doing this a long time. He made it look real, and it looked good, and he sold the foot for the rest of the match. Unlike certain, Monday Night Messiahs will hurt their knee in a match, and then 30 seconds later completely forget that they hurt their knee, and then 5 minutes later remember, and then 30 seconds later forget again. Cole wins with the Panama Sunrise, and it was just well booked. Adam Cole is obviously an amazing talent, a ring general. The match lived up to all the hype, all the build, and more than pleasantly surprised at this one. I was very happy with how this match turned out, and I didn't want to admit this. I didn't think it was going to be true. Really, I didn't think I would have to say it, but I think there might be a future for Pat McAfee in the ring. Like, I think, he gets some more matches under his belt. You learn by doing. I think he got something there. I think he could be something. So Pat McAfee, great job. And it was cool. Then we have, for the NXT Women's Championship, Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai. It was fine. It was a very solid match. It wasn't a bad match at all. It was a very solid wrestling match. It was kind of botchy in the beginning, where Io hurt herself off like her back spring to avoid a move thing, but they recovered fine. And then the end, it picked up, and it was good. I never thought that Kai was winning, so I think any suspension of disbelief was non-existent. A notable spot, probably the coolest spot in the match to me personally, well, there were two. Io was running towards the corner, Dakota moved, and Io almost ran into the referee. So it's the referee's here and Io is here, and then Dakota runs around to do her kick. Io moves and she just blasts the referee in the face, and the referee just crumbles, which gave you, of course, token Raquel Gonzalez interference. Another cool spot was when Io just kind of runs, jumps to the top rope, and does this beautiful moonsault to the outside, taking everybody out. It looked so good. And yeah, Io wins with another moonsault, and then Raquel Gonzalez gets in the ring, starts getting ready to beat up Io Shirai. Rhea Ripley comes out, stops that. Raquel and Rhea have a face-off, and then Raquel walks away, and a really awesome shot was as Rhea's walking away, Io's in the ring celebrating. So it's Io in the foreground, Rhea in the background, staring back at Io Shirai. It was really cool. So that was good camera work. It's worth checking out, but it didn't steal the show. But it also wasn't horrible and didn't drag the show down. It was there, and it was good, like I expected it to be. And yeah. Then we get to the NXT Championship match. Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross. And so long and short of it, Karrion Kross is our new NXT champion, and I don't agree with it at all. I don't understand why you would give Keith Lee such a career-making win over Adam Cole, ending Adam Cole's record-breaking title reign, and giving him that big of a rub to then just throw it onto Karrion Kross. Like, he should not have been in the title picture so soon, in my opinion. I've always liked Karrion Kross as a character. He's very character-driven, always has been, going back to Lucha Underground. Oh, that was his best character. But going back then, he's always been a promo character guy. In the ring, not the best. I kind of compared him to Bobby Roode, where it's like he's all entrance, but once the bell rings, then what? And even lately in his promos and stuff, it's just the samey stuff. I've been joking lately that he's like the Zoolander of NXT, except instead of one face, he has three. He has googly eye face, he has try-hard edgelord creepy smile face, and then he has corn cob stuck up his ass face, and that's it. I think Scarlett's awesome. But if not for her, what? I mean, Keith Lee is just a special talent. Like, Keith Lee carries himself with his confidence, and he talks with confidence, and he wrestles with confidence. Everything. I think Keith Lee is the total package. No disrespect to Lex Luger, but Keith Lee is a guy you build your brand around. Keith Lee is a guy you can build your company around. I honestly believe that. I think if he went to the main roster, that you make him like he is your marquee guy. You turn him into it. He is a star. Keith Lee is just a walking star in the making, and they had that. They gave him the win over Adam Cole, and then they just took it away. What makes it even more baffling is it looked like early on in the match, Kross hurt his shoulder. So why not just call an audible and have Lee retain? Kross can say that he legitimately hurt himself, that's why he didn't win, and that Lee can't beat him when he's at 100%. Then you do a rematch down the line when Kross heals and comes back. I just think this is the wrong decision. I'm not against Kross being champion, even though I really don't care for him. I'm against Kross being champion right now. Keith Lee needed to hold that title until at least the Rumble. You know, Adam Cole worked so hard to make that title so important and had such a great reign, especially for a long reign. And then Keith Lee was the successor and could easily carry that momentum on. And then this. It was an awkward match, mostly probably due to Kross being injured and awkward ending. Even Scarlett looked surprised at the 3 count. So maybe they did actually call an audible and ended it early. But it just wasn't very good. And I think after everything they did to make that title so important, to end it like that for Lee, Keith Lee was the perfect guy to be the face of your brand. I'm not saying he still can't be, but this was just, I can't say anything else without repeating myself over and over. I just think it was just not the right decision. So yeah. Overall, it was a good show. I would say it was probably a 6, 7 out of 10 if I had to rate it. But yeah, overall, decent show, especially not for having watched in a while, because I don't like watching without crowds. It's not fun. And I will say one benefit NXT had: no piped in crowd noise. Thank you. Just the noise of the people around the ring was more than enough. I checked out the Thunderdome stuff and it was okay, but the fakey piped in crowd noise on loop ruins it. At least when you have a couple dozen people around the ring making noise, banging on the plexiglass, it gives it some kind of, you know, organic feel. I'm not even gonna get into that. So yeah, overall, was worth watching. Don't regret watching it. Crap ending aside, decent show. SummerSlam is tomorrow. I'm gonna try and check it out, but I don't know. I'm not really interested in anything going on the main roster. We'll see. I might do SummerSlam. We'll see. I don't know. I'm really bad at the outro thing, so me and my notes are gonna go grab something to drink and turn the AC on because it's very, very, very hot in here. I don't like the summer, but I will see you all in the next video, and insert witty thing here. Bye.